McGuire. That's who's going to be joining us here on The Vast Voice. We're telling business secrets to entrepreneurs. I'm excited about this one. This one's right up my alley. We're going to be talking about multifamily investing, hopefully all over the country, but really in Florida. Hey, it's great to have you guys on the show.
Hey,
Thanks
you
for
so
having
much.
us.
We're glad to be here.
Let's get right into it. We're going to be talking for a half an hour about really your deal, and maybe you can find some investors. Maybe you can add some value to some of the investors who are out there who want to get involved in multifamily, et cetera, et cetera. So why don't you go ahead and tell a little bit about your background? Let's get right into it.
Fantastic. Victoria, you want to start?
Sure. My name's Victoria McGuire. I've been a realtor residential since 2005. And just recently, a few years ago, we switched over to the syndication space, and it's been a game changer for us. We are absolutely loving it. My specialty in that space is underwriting deals, and my husband is more on the investor relations side, raising capital for people to invest in the deals. And we just love everything there is about multifamily investments.
I like it. What about you, Mark? Give me the whole lowdown on who Mark is.
Hey, fantastic.
I meant Marv, by the way. Marv, not Mark. I don't know who Mark is. I meant Marv.
Yeah, I am originally from Fort Worth, Texas. Went to the Naval Academy, spent about 25 years in the Navy, and then spent 10 years in federal IT sales. And really had been, like Victoria alluded to, we've been investing in single family homes for over a decade, and just had some issues where, something goes wrong, you got to replace a roof or an AC or something like that. And, all your cash flow disappears very quickly. So we were looking for something to scale, and jumped into multifamily and did almost 500 doors last year. So we're super excited, and things have going gangbusters.
Nice. You mean you acquired 500 doors last year?
We did.
Nice work, dude. Oh, I didn't know that. Nice. Very nice work. By the way, a little known thing about you. Do you know who else went to Naval Academy and also who's a big fan of the Dallas Cowboys?
Yeah, I don't.
What? Really? Are you serious? Roger Staubach.
Oh, wow. I mean, yeah. Yes, I do know about Roger Staubach. I used to have his poster on my door.
Me too. That's good stuff. Well, Marv and Victoria, I'm glad you guys are on the show. So I'm gonna get right to it. So go a little bit more in depth as to why multifamily, first of all.
Okay, well, I'll take a swag at that, and then I'll let Victoria clean up all my mistakes. But
there you go. Yeah,
I mean, I know trust me, I know where my bread is buttered here. And
there you go.
You've got the brain trust on one side of the street, and just the other person who's carrying the luggage on the other. So
I know what you mean.
So, I mean, I think we, over the course of our career, we probably collected, 5 or 6 single family homes. Some of those were intentionally, where we said, hey, this is great. Let's build, plan our family here. And then the military would ship us off to another location. And some of them we were really comfortable. And the military said, hey, you need to be at your next duty station in 30 days. So, pack up and get going. And we were kind of left with only the option to rent. And so we probably at one time, like I said, had about 6 single family homes that we were managing. Mainly Victoria was managing, all over. Most of those were across the state of Florida. And, one of them, we had renters leave in the middle of the night, and we had about $15,000 of repair work to be done on that before we could re-rent it. Another one of those properties had a leak underneath the master bedroom. We had to rip up the floor and take a jackhammer to the slab to repair. Another one, we had to repair a roof. So, that happens once a year or twice a year, or God forbid, more than one of those happen. That wipes out, that wipes out all your profit and all of that. And it just gets really, really frustrating. In addition, it's high touch. It's not just, hey, you've got a renter in there and it's fire and forget. It is, hey, the garage door is squeaking. Hey, the washer's leaking. Hey, the wax ring on the toilet's not properly sealed and your toilet's leaking. So it's high touch. And when you're when you're busy and you're a busy professional, or you're in the military, it's not always the ideal circumstances. So we decided, whenever we started really having a lot of those issues occur more and more regularly, that there had to be a better way. So we ended up taking a course from Grant Cardone, who a a lot of people know, and some people like and some people don't. But we were like, I like him because he's kind of brash and all over the place, and we're like, man, it's not super difficult. It's just all about diving in and really, really mastering the skills. So that's what we did. We took a chance, and we've been very, very successful. We're excited.
Yeah, it's I've been a couple boards with Grant Cardone. I don't know him really. We've just talked here and there, but man, that's a good guy to learn from. And it sounds like you guys are obviously some of his star pupils. If you bought 500 units or doors last year, that's a big deal.
Well, we didn't join Grant's course. We took his course. We didn't join his group, but we ended up joining another mastermind group here in Sarasota, Florida, and that's kind of been a game changer for us because it really got us around like-minded individuals who are investing in continuing education and doing this business. And so we could get a mentor and a coach and get some encouragement. And that just really poured gas on our progress.
Do you mind, or do you want to disclose who that is or no? Meaning the mastermind in Sarasota?
Yeah, sure. We joined Rod Cleef's group.
I don't know.
He has a program called the Warrior Program.
I don't think you know. Very, very nice. So, all right, let me, since Victoria hasn't talked, I'm going to ask Victoria a couple of questions. So why you? Why should someone invest equity or fixed in what you have going?
Well, we partner with people that have been in the industry a really long time. They have a great track record, and we've aligned ourselves with them. So that's really helped us to gain the knowledge that we need and give us the experience that we need. These particular operators, they have, close to like 1,000 doors right now under management. They've exited several deals successfully. Their returns have been phenomenal. And not only that, we really align with their values. So what's really important to us is just transparency, communicating with our investors so they know what's going on with their money. And just us as well, we also co-invest. So we're never going to ask for our investors to invest in a deal that we aren't personally invested in as well. So I think that gives a high level of confidence to investors that, we're putting our money where our mouth is, so to speak.
I understand. So how does it work? I don't know. This is to either one of you, Marv or Victoria. So how does it work? Let's just say and this is really a question for people who want to raise money in addition to what you guys are doing. I don't know, but what are the logistics for investing in some of your deals?
I mean, it's really pretty straightforward. Whenever we have a deal that we're going to bring to market, which we only do maybe 3 or 4 of those a year because we really are stringent with what we will present to our investors. So we're not just, throwing stuff out there and seeing what will stick. We have very stringent underwriting standards that we adhere to. We look at probably 200 to 300 deals before we find one that we feel confident will work and that we're getting it at the price that will produce the returns that, we want our investors to receive. So that's first off. You're not going to be inundated with, a bunch of deals from us. But when we do bring a deal to market, what we typically do is a webinar. We go over all the specifics of the deal and outline, what they can expect as far as from a returns standpoint, what we're projecting, tell everything about the location of the property and all of, the benefits of investing in that particular syndication. And then the investor can decide if that's the deal that, they want to invest in or not. If they do, it's a very simple, straightforward process of signing up in our portal. We use Cashflow Portal for our raises, and they just create an account and they'll be getting their documents, their private placement memorandum to sign and, send their money. It's pretty simple and straightforward.
Do you take, I assume you do, but I'll ask, do you take qualified plan money like IRA money or 401k money?
Absolutely. Yeah. And we help people that aren't familiar with how to set that up. We do have several companies that we work with that can help you get those set up. We highly recommend those. They're a great investment vehicle.
Yeah. Look at you guys. By the way, webinars. We're coming out with a new webinar software that's pretty much automated because of using our AI. We've been using AI for years. Now we're using it internally for some of our webinar software we call VastCast, and maybe you could take a look at that. It's pretty cool. But anyway, that's enough about us. But so Very interesting. I see. I get your. So what's let's say a potential rate of return? I know you can't guarantee anything, but what's a potential rate of return for a lot of your investors?
I'll take that one, honey. So basically, what we underwrite to, like Victoria said, we're only going to bring probably three, maybe four, but usually it's three. So we underwrite to at least an 8% preferred return, at least a 15% IRR, and at least a 1.75 equity multiple. If the deal doesn't meet those basic metrics, we don't even bring it to market.
Mm-hmm.
But all the deals that we did last year were at least 16 to 19 IIR and at least a 2.1 equity multiple. So it's not like it was in 2018 and 17 where it was a 30% IIR and a 3x. But our goal is to kind of bring, solid base hits, because we think, our approach is to provide people an alternative to the stock market, not, you know, the end all be all. It's like, hey, this is an alternative investment. It's solid, it's conservative, and it's going to provide great returns. So we're not trying to, hit a grand slam every time that we bring something out. We love singles and doubles, and so that's kind of the returns that we kind of aim for.
Yeah, I totally get it. I think Florida's a killer market. People, I don't think realize that it's an underserved market, meaning there's not enough there's not enough units for people to live in. I'm a partner in a deal that's just getting it's going to be breaking ground here pretty soon, and I'm shocked at how many people or how much need there is for supply there as far as units. It's crazy.
Yeah, it's crazy. I mean, Victoria's dealing with that every day. As she still practices a little bit of residential real estate, and it's just the demand for housing here is just unbelievable.
I understand. Oh, wow. This is good. This is really good. I totally appreciate you guys being on the show, by the way. So just real quickly, we have still a while, but how does someone get a hold of you?
Well, we've got our website. That's probably the easiest way. We've got a little pop-up book there that will explain a little bit more about, investing in multifamily syndications and what that's all about, if there's people that aren't familiar with the whole process. But our website is www.heart, like the heart in your chest, heartsilcapitalpartners.com. One more time, it's www.heart, like in your chest, capitalpartners.com.
And how's SIL spelled?
SILL, like a windowsill.
It's Heart, HEART, right? Yeah.
Yes.
All right, cool. And let's say someone want to do, that's the best way to get a hold of you versus calling you guys, it sounds like, correct?
Yeah, no, they can give us a call for sure. Probably best to call my husband since he loves to talk, and his number is 813.
He's the talker. Marv's the talker of the group.
I'll give everybody.
You're doing great, though, honey.
Yeah, it's 813-526-9488. We're always available. Of course, we've got all the socials out there too: Facebook and LinkedIn and Twitter or X or whatever we're calling it these days. All at Hartzell Capital Partners.
Awesome. A few more questions. As I mentioned, I'm a little inquisitive type of guy. So what are some other kind of due diligence elements that you guys do that's totally unique in the marketplace that would add value that I would be comfortable investing in your deals?
I think what we'll mention, we have a 3-tier underwriting model that I think is a little different that we do. So, I mean, we'll look at these deals, and like Victoria said, we get probably I don't know. I mean, it's 200 or 300 before we really get to a point where we're really even ready to submit an LOI. I mean, I think this year alone, we've probably looked at, oh my gosh, several hundred deals, and I think we've submitted 3 LOIs and missed on all of them, to be perfectly honest with you. Barely missed, but missed. But on our underwriting, yeah, exactly. So we have a very, very quick, 15-minute, 20-minute back of the napkin. Hey, what does this look like? And if it gets past that, and a lot of them do, so that's what's crazy is you'll find in the OMs that the brokers put out, none of that is true, more times than not. And we get through that, and then Victoria will dive into probably a 6 or 8 hour kind of second tier with just doing the financials and getting the debt quotes and the insurance and all of that stuff. And then
Mm-hmm.
at the end of that, if it makes it through that, it undergoes probably a 7 to 10 day process where Victoria and I and the partners that are going to be involved in the deal not only visit the property, visit the comparables in that market that are listed in
Mm-hmm.
the OM and the CoStar report, kind of go shop all the comparables. We visit all the properties that we bring to market. So we're
Mm-hmm.
driving the neighborhoods, we're driving the retail, we're researching the employment, we're researching the crime. And that's not to say that that's super special, as far as proprietary or anything like that. But what we've learned over the last, 18 months is you'd be surprised how many people don't take the time to do
I agree with that. A lot of
that.
people do not.
Yeah, they really don't. They really don't. And I think that's the reason that you see a lot of operators and a lot of groups throwing out, hey, we submitted 20 LOIs this week. Hey, we did, 50, we missed on 15 deals this last month. And, like I said, we invest in all of our deals with our own personal money above the minimum threshold.
Mm-hmm.
And, we're not independently wealthy by any stretch. I mean, I'm a retired military guy, and Victoria's an Army brat, and we've got 4 kids. So we're in the business of making people's money, making ourselves money, and making other people money, and not losing money. So.
Mm-hmm. That's huge. It sounds like you guys are go-getters, and it sounds like you're taking care of the clients. Obviously, that's very important. Due diligence, I think, is really where it starts when it comes to
Yeah.
multifamily. I sadly, now looking back, sold all my multifamily because I was doing a bunch of investments in AI and buying some other little companies or brands, I guess. And I believe in multifamily. I think Florida's a good spot. I think a lot of clients, it's something they should look at. Now, the question is, can you deal with clients all over the country?
Oh,
100%.
absolutely. We even have some international investors as well.
Mm-hmm.
And we buy properties. We'd love to buy properties in Florida, but sadly, so far, none of our properties are in Florida because there
No.
is so much problems here with insurance.
Yeah.
Um, I mean, we cannot get anything to pencil, mostly because of the insurance. And also, the prices are still really sky high. A lot of sellers in this area have not come down to reality yet. So, the bulk of our investments right now are in Georgia and South Carolina.
Oh, you said
Those
that,
are
and I
probably,
totally missed that. Here I am
oh,
saying and touting how cool Florida is for properties, although we've been able to get stuff below value, but we don't really market to the masses. So we're totally different in your circumstance. I totally missed the boat when you mentioned that. Sorry about that.
yeah, no worries. I mean, we definitely look every day at properties in Florida, and we will get one eventually. It's got to come back down to reality around here sooner or later. But right now, again, they're mostly in South Carolina and Georgia. Those are two really great states to own properties in.
Yeah.
We only look in states really that are landlord friendly, and not to be political or anything. That's not going to be any of the blue states for the most part. Most of our properties that we'll even take a look at are going to be in a landlord friendly state because we don't want to get in a situation where we can't evict tenants and we have problems like that. That's not good for any kind of investment.
Oh, people have no clue. You're exactly right. It's scary in some of those other states. I live in Washington, and they're very, very nice to tenants, which, hey, it is what it is. I decided to live here, but it's scary if you're a landlord. And if you're an investor, that's an issue if you want to potentially invest in a group that's, in a tenant friendly or a landlord friendly state. That's something to think about. That's a good point.
Absolutely. Very important.
So, Marv, and this is a weird question. Any any military because you're in the military for a long time. Any things that you've taken from the military background and basically used it to your real estate success?
That's a great question. I think the thing that whenever I think about my military background and I've talked to, at this point, hundreds of military folks about this is
Mm.
the simple fact that we didn't even know what a real estate syndication was until probably 3 years ago. And, they don't teach about syndications and these type of investments in school. You don't hear financial advisors, talking to everyday Americans, and just didn't realize how powerful they are. And then, most military folks are, hey, go to work, I get paid every 2 weeks, and there's that security. It's just like, hey, I'm going to get paid every 2 weeks. I'm not in sales or anything like that. So it's convincing folks with the military mindset, or maybe a government employee, that these are actual, real, solid investments for everyday Americans, where people sometimes don't trust what they don't understand, or don't trust what they don't know. And I think that's been it was a challenge for us originally. I mean, Victoria and I were like, okay, are we really going to get into this? Are we really going to go for it? And then once you get into it and you really get educated, that's when you really get excited. So, and just the other thing, just to probably be more pinpoint in my answer to your question, is, being deliberate and disciplined in our approach.
Yeah.
In the military, as you well know, I mean, if you're not disciplined, you're not going to be successful. And in this business, it's the same way. If you're not disciplined and you're not deliberate and you're not consistent, you're just not going to have any level of sustainability or sustained success.
Right. Yep. I figured. I mean, you're going to be really determined if you're if you're in one, to join the service, and then two, to when you get out, you're probably even more determined to succeed for whatever reason. That's just my own perception, and I would think that would help you in building out a real estate portfolio.
Yeah, it's helped a lot. It's helped for measured risk. We got into, you retire from the military and you're not sure exactly. A lot of people know exactly what they want to do. Hey, I'm going to go be a school teacher, or I'm going to go, open a business, or I'm going to do this, or I'm going to do that. But a lot of people retire from the military and they get into a second career and they're like, okay, this is, I've got young kids and we just want to make as much money as we can, or what have you, or be able to continue to provide that level of security, kind of like the military. But it also, that mindset and that determination gives you the confidence whenever you get to a point and you're like, hey, we're going to try something completely new and different. Because neither one of us, I mean, Victoria grew up in a military family. Her dad's a retired sergeant major that lives up near you. And I've been in the military our entire married life. And when we said, hey, let's start our own business and go for it, I think that military mindset really came in handy. Although you think it's not intuitive. You're like, hey, don't take risk, But you flip that over and go, hey, we can do this. You have the confidence in your abilities. You have the confidence in your discipline to say, we got this, and go and build something special. Yep.
Nice. I totally get it. So, Victoria, let me ask this. Again, I'm very inquisitive. Sorry, I'm picking your guys' brain, but that's me, I guess, right? I guess that's also the nature of this. So you don't really do that much active real estate agent work, it sounds like. But you do some, I assume. So what are your thoughts on the general real estate market right now as it relates to, I guess, Florida or the country?
Yeah, I have stepped away somewhat from residential. I was a really top producer for many, many years, and I was pretty much getting burnt out on it. So I was ready for a change, and this has been a good change for us.
Good, congratulations.
But I definitely do still, dabble in it, so to speak. I help friends, family, and if business comes to me, I'll take it, but I'm not out like searching for business kind of thing. So I do still have my pulse on the market. Here locally in Tampa area, we're still seeing that, supply is not quite there yet. We are looking at about a 3-month supply of housing. So that's still considered shortage. And we have multiple offers still on the lower priced properties. So it's really flipped though for the higher priced properties. Anything which in Florida is not like California or Washington for us, higher price, starts at around 500,000 or so. And the closer you get up there to that $1 million mark, those homes are tending to sit on market a lot longer, just because the rates, are still really high. So market time's increasing, but we still have that supply issue for sure.
What about NAR? I know. Any quick thoughts on that?
On the settlement? Yeah, well, none of that is, going to take effect until July if it happens. We're still kind of waiting and seeing. I mean, I think it's going to be a good thing for the market overall. I think it'll weed out a lot of the agents that just jumped in here thinking they're going to make a quick buck. And, we do have way too many agents in the system. So I think this will clear some of them out. And then, agents are just going to have to cross their T's and dot their I's, get those buyer brokerage agreements in place, which I think will be a good thing for agents, because I can't tell you how many buyers I drove around without getting that agreement in place, and then they end up not buying something, or they go buy a for sale by owner. I think it's going to be good for people that are buyers agents. And then for sellers agents, I think it's going to be a lot easier for them, because, now they're going to ask sellers to sign an agreement for 2 or 3%, and it seems like they're getting a deal because everybody's used to paying 5 or 6%. So I think it's going to make it a lot easier for sellers agents. In the end, sadly, I think who's going to suffer is going to be the buyers, especially the first time buyers that can't afford to pay an agent on their own. If the seller's not willing to pay it, agents aren't going to work for free. That's just not
Which
an
they
option.
shouldn't. I get that. Yeah.
No, it's hard work. I can't tell you how many hours you spend driving people around, and you're not paying it, taxes aren't deducted, so you still have to pay your taxes. And everybody thinks we make so much money, but when you look at the big picture and break it down to an hourly rate, the pay is not that great in most cases. So so the buyers, I think, are going to bear the brunt of it and end up having to pay the agents. And I don't know how that's going to work, because a lot of buyers, they just don't have the money for the down payment and the closing costs, and now they got to come up with more money for a realtor too. I think it's really going to put a crunch on especially first-time home buyers.
Yeah, it's sad. It's the rules are, it's probably the lawyers who are going to make the most money out of the whole NAR deal. And then the buyer ends up getting, kind of, I hate to use this term, but screwed over in the whole deal. It's pretty sad overall. But all right. So what's on the horizon? What's the go forward for you guys? I'm assuming you're going to be buying even more than 500 units this year. What's going forward for you?
Yeah, the goal this year, we're currently working with our partners on another deal in Savannah. We did 2 deals in Savannah last year. We're working on a 208 unit deal in Savannah right now that we're hoping to bring to market in the next 2 weeks. That we're super excited about. It's about 15 minutes from downtown Savannah, Class B property. Really, really going to be a deal that we're super excited about. Victoria and I are also working on a deal up in the Greenville, South Carolina area. That's probably, it's kind of funny with the market, how we've been talking about is, we bid the deal last September, and then we just barely missed it. And then it came back around because those buyers fell out. And then we bid it again in November, and those buyers fell out. And we bid it again in January the 30th, and those buyers fell out. And the broker just brought it back to us, and we're like, hey, man, we've been here the whole time. Why
didn't you just give it to us at the outset, right?
Yeah, exactly. And here's our offer. And what's really crazy is the offer that we put in here, we're probably going to put in the next couple of days, is the same exact number that we put in.
Are you serious?
Yeah, it's like we've been here the whole time. So a couple things on the docket right now that we're very bullish on, especially that 208 unit deal. Who knows if this other one will fall out, just because when it comes around that many times, there's so many different factors that are pushing it to one way or the other. But we're super excited about this one in Savannah because our partners, one of the partners is actually grew up and from Savannah. The other is husband and wife like us. The wife's from Savannah, the husband's from Charleston. And I think last year they bought 600 or 700 units in Savannah, and we were along with them on about half of those. So we know that market extraordinarily well. So super excited about this coming up one.
Dude, you guys are players. I like it. So what's one kind of last parting thought that both of you guys have that can kind of add value to our audience? Again, real estate investors usually. Pretty high net worth, and they're entrepreneurs. Pretty much all of them are entrepreneurs. How about one last thought from both of you guys?
Go ahead, honey.
Oh, what a sweet guy.
Well, my parting thought would be, I'm sure that you're out there, looking for investments all the time. And if you're looking for a great way to diversify your portfolio, I think, real estate syndications, they've been a game changer for us, not only with the tax advantages, inflation hedge, and all that they have to offer. But also, since they don't correlate to other investments that you might have in your portfolio, it's a good way to diversify. And, that's what it's all about. So if you're looking for stable income, definitely I recommend checking out real estate syndications.
Thank you, Victoria. Nice work. Marv, what thoughts?
Nicely done.
Yeah, nice, of course. Woo!
Yeah, bravo, bravo. I mean, I guess mine would be, we'd love for you to invest with Hartzell Capital Partners, but I would encourage people just to get educated and invest. Invest with us, invest with somebody else. Just invest, because it can really, it really can change your life. It can change, what you can leave to your kids. It can change how you, the freedom that you have in your life, your lifestyle freedom. It can change so many different things, but you got to take action and get out there and take responsibility for your own success. So it's a little bit broader than Victoria's very good and eloquent input, but I would say just let's get after it. Get after
it. My last thoughts are: I think real estate's a great investment. I really, I believe in diversified portfolio, but I definitely believe in real estate. When I've made money, it's usually been on real estate. Multifamily, I think, is a great avenue because it provides income, and there's probably always going to be multifamily real estate, right? And you have the chance, if you're buying low, you have the chance of selling down the road for hopefully quite a bit more than you bought it for, while someone else is paying your mortgage. I think it makes a lot of sense. What I would also say is it really depends on the circumstances, but we're big believers in real estate investing, hence the reason most of our clients are real estate investors. So it's been a pleasure having you guys on. I think people should at least look you guys up. Once again, by the way, how do they find you again?
You sell it this time, honey.
All right. Okay.
Yeah.
Our website is www.Hartzell, like the heart in your chest, SILL, capitalpartners.com. You can find me at marv.mcguire, MCGUIRE, at hartzellcapitalpartners.com, or Victoria at victoria.mcguire at hartzellcapitalpartners.com. And if people want to reach out to me and just have a conversation, I'm at 813-526-9488.
Nice. I really appreciate you guys being here. And if anyone has any questions, obviously go to our website at vastsolutionsgroup.com. They can ask for me, Kenner, or they can give us a call at 888-808-8278, which spells VAST, V-A-S-T. It's been a pleasure, you guys. I really appreciate you guys being here. Not only you two, Marv and Victoria, also the viewers and listeners out there. It's been a pleasure. And please stop by again.
Thanks so much for having us. We enjoyed it.
Thank you.
Thanks, guys.